Hey everyone, Greg Silva here. I did a post today. It seemed to get quite a lot of interest, and it was just simply a question. An instructor would ask, or an owner would ask his instructor before they taught for the day, hey, how good is your class going to be today? Now, hopefully they give you the answer that I gave in the post and say it's the best class ever. That is our standard. Our standard is constant and never-ending improvement. We want to make sure our students always feel good when they leave the school. I was talking to some instructors a while back, and we had a group, and I said, over the last 3, 5, maybe 10 years, how many students did you lose? And there was, man, a lot, too many. That was like the common answer, way too many. Okay, here's just something to think about. Every one of those students that you lost took their last class from you. And you get a couple of grumbling, oh man, you just like kicked me right in the heart. I go, yeah, I know it does hurt, but it's true. Something happened. Maybe they're thinking about quitting for a while. They say, I'm going to give it one more try. They come back, they're in the class, they had a bad experience, and they're done. Start thinking about how strong or how stable is my school. One of the indicators I do is how many A, B, and C students do you have? Now, an A student is one that's always there. Probably have A parents, the A parents that come and support him all the time. He's ready for stripe testing. He gets his belts. He shows up for events. If you want to have a volunteer, he's all over to the places, hand up. Then on the other end, we have our C students. C meaning, see ya, they're halfway out the door. They're hanging on by a thread. Their attendance is terrible. They're on your MIA list all the time. You're calling them up. You're sending MIA letters. You may try to do some extra help. You just haven't connected where now they feel good about the training. So they're on that C level. I mean, they're almost gone. And then we have a majority of our school that are B students. Now, B students are there most of the time. They have pretty good attendance. Every once in a while, they may be on the MIA list. They may not volunteer, but if you call them, they'll jump up and they'll do that. So they're solid students, not as solid as the A students, but they're pretty solid students. Well, I would do a accounting once a month with all my staff members, and we would go through the list of every single student in the school, and we would mark them A, B, and C. And then we would write out, okay, we've got 35% of our school that is A, we have 15% of the school that is C, and we got 50% of the school that are B students. And there we go, whoa, that's pretty good. It's 85% of our students, pretty solid. So that's one way to think about it, but this is the way I think about it. I think if we had a field and I had my A students on one side, my C on the other side, and there's a fence right down through the middle of the field, my B students are straddling the fence. Now, if they come and they have a real good experience, chances are they're going to keep coming back. If all of a sudden they had a fantastic experience and they really started seeing how close they are getting towards their goals, you may even get them to be A students. But if they come in, the instructor is not on top of his game, maybe the instructor raises his voice, loses his temper, picks on the student, embarrasses them, something goes wrong, they could be not only a C student, but see ya. I mean, they're just out the door. So, not that they're fragile, but the experience and how they feel about their training and how they feel about your school is based on their last class. Now, you may say, well, that's not really fair because people, they have good classes, bad classes. You do it yourself. A lot of you go to restaurants and maybe have a favorite restaurant or a good restaurant and your experience is good, the food's good, they treat you really nice, and you're going there back maybe once a week. Then all of a sudden you come and you have a bad experience. Something went wrong. You didn't want to tip them. And then they wouldn't give you the service you wanted. You ask, maybe you send something back, get it heated up. You go, man, that was bad. Then all of a sudden you don't show up. And then maybe the week after that you don't show up. You may, and then all of a sudden you're not there anymore. So you do it. Well, that's what happens to your school, and that's what raises our attrition. So how do we judge how a student experiences the class and feels about the class. Well, one of the old tools that's been around a long time are the 3 S's. When the students leave the class, are they sore? Are they smiling? And are they sweaty? Well, those are pretty good indicators. If someone's sweaty, they had a good workout. They probably released a lot of endorphins, a lot of chemicals. They feel really good about themselves. If they're smiling, well, they just enjoyed themselves. I mean, they're happy they were there. They probably enjoyed being with their friends. They enjoyed the whole class experience. If they're sore, well, hey, I like being sore. You know, if you work on, all of a sudden you get sore, you go, man, I'm getting in better shape. You know, I'm in better shape than I thought I was. So if you get those 3 S's, that's one indicator. Now, in our virtual instructor college that's coming up at the end of August, I think it's August 28th and 29th, we're going to be covering a lot of steps and a lot of checklists that we can go through with our instructors to make sure the class is really good, the students were sore, they're sweaty, they're smiling, and more importantly, they feel good about themselves. Everyone wants to feel good about themselves. If I'm seeing progress, now you're not just telling me I'm doing better, but if I'm seeing progress, I'm going to feel good about myself. And if I feel good about myself, I'm going to train more. If I train more, I'm going to start getting better. I'm going to feel better. My attendance is going to improve. So that really spirals up. But it can spiral down too. So, you know, all of a sudden, the experience wasn't that good. Everyone was a little mean. Hey, the instructor didn't even call me by name. You know, I've been there for I don't know how long, and it's like I was invisible. Well, then it could spiral down. So we're going to cover that in Instructor College. A lot of tools. It's a lot of fun. So the Virtual Instructor College, again, is the end of August. What I really suggest is you do a live event for the Virtual Instructor College at your school. It could be a revenue generator for you. You know, maybe you can charge your SWAT team members, your leadership members, your instructors for that type of class. We're going to have certificates. We're going to have T-shirts. They're going to have a great experience. Your instructors hopefully are going to get stimulated. They're going to try harder. They're going to want to give that good experience because everyone wants their students to get something out of martial arts training. And we don't get any feeling at all like that if we start losing students. So the whole idea is to maintain our students, keep our students long-term so they can see results and we can feel really good that we're making a difference in our community. So look for Instructor College. Hope you enjoyed this and got some tips on this that you can share with your team. Again, Greg Silva signing out.